Good Tuesday morning to the Morning Drop family, the War Report family. It's Morning Drop time. It is Tuesday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all the people out there who celebrate Valentine's Day. If you don't, happy Valentine's Day to you anyway. Just be upset. Anyway, today we are talking about rivalries. Is Auburn versus Alabama the premier rivalry in all of college sports as it stands today? We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Drop. Y'all know how we get down. Let's drop it on them.
You are now listening to the War Report. Drop.
Morning Drop time. Your man Ike Jones here with B Will this morning. And we are talking about college sports rivalries. First and foremost, B Will, Valentine's Day. You and the wife celebrate. And I don't want to put y'all business out there. Y'all got a special day tomorrow, too. Y'all celebrate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we celebrate a little something. We're going to try to get all our celebrating in tomorrow. You know, everybody going to be trying to do something today.
For sure.
We just kick that down the road. But yeah, we're going to do a little something tomorrow to celebrate after all the crowds have died down.
I feel that 100%. I am actually doing something with my entire family to celebrate Valentine's Day. So we're going out to eat. So that's going to be a cool little situation. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about my Valentine's or your Valentine's Day plans, but we're here to talk about the love of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And that love has driven a lot of hatred amongst two fan bases. And I feel as if because of the place that these two schools have positioned themselves in all of the sports. We know about the football rivalry, right? Like people would argue forever. I still argue the Iron Bowl is the best football rivalry, right? Like Michigan, Ohio State, people try to argue that that's a better rivalry. I think that's a great rivalry. Don't know that it's better than the Iron Bowl, but I might be biased with that one. I could understand that one. People try to argue, you know, maybe the traditional military rivalry of Army versus Navy. Maybe that's just like oh man, you know, you can't get past the tradition of that. I don't really know that you can put any of these other ones that they try. Maybe so, and then they try to compare maybe Duke versus North Carolina in basketball, right? Maybe that's a bigger sports rivalry than Auburn versus Alabama in football, right?
Right.
When you take into account what it has become in basketball now as a rivalry, what it always has been in football, what it's turning into in gymnastics, what it's turning into in baseball and softball, like, is it even a debate in anybody's mind whether or not the rivalry of these two schools across all sports is the best rivalry in college football? In my mind, the answer to that is no. But B Will, what do you think?
So it's pretty. We have to define rivalry first. All right. We have to define our terms. We're talking rivalries. What makes a rivalry? NFL teams will tell you all the time when one team's doing all the winning, they'll be like, is this a rivalry between y'all's teams? And they'll be like, well, you know what? We ain't beat them, so it ain't no rivalry. If you haven't been getting some back in on the ones that they're getting on you, it's not a rivalry.
Yeah, a lot of those traditional rivalries, like one team ain't getting their lick back. Like Bama versus Tennessee. Tennessee just got their lick back. Like it was like, I don't think Bama fans considered Tennessee a true rivalry until Tennessee won last year. Now that might have stirred the pot a little bit more, but it ain't been no rivalry in a minute in that situation.
Right. And so that will come to that helps us set the table for this, which is how many collegiate sports are you being competitive with this quote unquote rival? So Alabama had run the mat per se in gymnastics for a while, but we know the last two seasons, well, this current season, the last season, that we've been right there with them. And we were starting to get better before then too, before SUNY arrived. So that has now become something of a rivalry, even though we know Bama has done their fair share of winning there. Baseball, Auburn's on the map now. We've been to Oklahoma twice in the last, was it 4 years? I want to say we went back in 2020. You have to
Omaha.
Yeah, excuse me. I say Oklahoma.
Two of the last 3 seasons, I believe, we've been to the college baseball World Series. Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting better there. All right, we're improving and we're becoming competitive. In swimming, we ran the yard. I don't think Alabama's ever been like a big dog on the yard when it comes to swimming, but we've got enough competition in so many sports. It's hard to say this isn't the best rivalry because when you compete, something is at stake. That is the definition of a rivalry. Yes, it comes down to pride. I would say Florida State, Miami for a little while because it was like national championship, national championship, national championship. Between them, they got like 4 over 5 years or something. And that is a rivalry. Most other places, man, it's one sport. UNC and Duke, yeah, basketball, but it was mostly about those coaches. They care. I do think UNC and Duke is the Iron Bowl on the basketball side. I do think it's as hot and heavy. If you've talked to anybody who has lived there, lived with that rivalry, rooted for one team and the other, gone to those schools, they say it is every bit as serious as our rivalry is here with the Iron Bowl of football, and I believe it. But that's where it stops because nobody cares about UNC basketball and football. Yeah. Football versus Duke is not a thing. I have no idea what the ACC baseball landscape looks like. I have no idea what the ACC gymnastics landscape looks like. And part of the reason I don't know is because it's not noteworthy enough to make national news. So if it's not national news, if I don't hear about your teams being in the Final Four, if I don't hear about your teams winning national championships, that means it's not significant enough to be a true rivalry, because when you face the other person, is the legacy of your program at stake? It is not. Here, it is. It absolutely is. We won the 2013 Iron Bowl. People try to gloss it off. Oh, it was a kick six. Not only was it the most miraculous ending to a football game possibly ever, it was also a turnaround from a 3-9 season for Auburn. It was also the game that knocked Alabama off the path to three-peat, which would have been historic in itself, because I can't remember. Has anybody ever three-peat in college football?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think they have. And so we stopped Nick Saban from grabbing the small piece of history that he has yet to grab. Now, there's no guarantee they would have beaten Florida State, but I'm glad I didn't have to watch them try. We stopped them from achieving something. Cam Newton came here in 2010 and did what he did. That was a sandwich between 2009 and 2011. One way or another, possibly 2 different times, we stopped the three-peat. Auburn was in the way of that. That is a miraculous feat. That's why those games matter. We are in the way of you doing something even better and writing your name in history books. And when we do it, usually we're on the way to some significant success ourselves. There's no comparison, man. Nobody else has stakes that high. Now, if Duke and UNC were meeting in Final Fours and playing for national championships, okay, I would listen. But that's just one sport, though. Every other sport, it's too high. The stakes are too high in all these sports for it to be comparable to any other rivalry. I think we're the best.
Yeah, I mean, listen, to me, it's I think it's easy. You know, like I said, I think the comparison Duke and UNC in basketball has relevance as to whether or not it's a more heated rivalry in that sport than ours is in football. But it's hard for me to see it across multiple sports at these other schools. Again, I'm not going to pretend like I am super hip to how heated a rivalry Kentucky versus Louisville is on the basketball court. Might be. Okay, maybe. But you can't sell me that Kentucky versus Louisville matters in football. You can't. You can't tell me it matters more.
Right. You did.
Yeah, even if those two schools dislike each other, who cares?
Right.
Like, literally, who cares? Clemson versus South Carolina. Who cares about them in basketball? Nobody.
Yeah. I'm sure they
even
do
in football,
dislike
it's a heated rivalry, but who cares? Let's be serious.
Yeah. Nothing has been at stake. Did South Carolina stop Clemson from winning a national championship or a berth in the playoff? No. They beat Clemson. Clemson was underwhelming anyway. And honestly, I think they saved everybody a favor by making sure Clemson did not get in that playoff. They didn't belong.
Yeah, it's just not a thing that anybody cares about in any significant way. But if you're watching the morning drop, if you guys are in here right now, let's get these likes up, share the video, get more people involved in the conversation. Y'all aren't doing Valentine's things this early by and large. So just go ahead and get some more people involved. Share the conversation out there. Like the video. Give us that thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got a lot of great content that you're going to want to know about when it drops. We got an announcement coming later on today, so be checking our social media. We'll announce some of the new content that we've got coming up for you guys. So make sure you have your notification bells on this week, because you're going to want to know about some of this stuff that we got coming up. As always, the morning drop is here and sponsored by Rogue Shop. We are sponsored by RogueShop.com. Make sure you head over, use code REPORT, get 10% off of your purchase. Today is Valentine's Day. Show somebody you love a little love and buy them something from the Rogue Shop, man. Maybe they like, relaxing. Most people like to relax. They got some stuff to help you relax. So sleep. They got things for stress relief. This is a time to get somebody a unique gift. Go to rogueshop.com, get a little something off of that purchase. You're also going to want to become members of the War Report, man. Got some great video content that I'll be doing breakdowns on coming up here soon. That's going to be member only content. So you guys make sure you lock in with us there. But we are going to go here to the chat to see what you all are talking about. We appreciate everybody jumping into the conversation. Not a ton of convo going on out there, but we'll start with Derek Anderson, who says, I feel the game in itself has died down to the quality of football being put out from Auburn, but still the best rivalry, no doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just 2 years ago, it was a 4 overtime game. And though Auburn wasn't like a great team, that was an amazing game. So it hadn't been very long ago that game, regardless of what the stakes were for Auburn, meant a whole lot to the landscape of college football and was a really great game.
Wait, so what was Bama's record at that point? They had lost to Texas A&M, right?
Yeah.
But they had only lost to Texas A&M. Ole Miss had lost 2 games. So if we had beaten Bama, they would have still gone to the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's like, And
yeah, but then the stakes of the SEC championship game would have been a little bit higher, though, because they would have had 2 losses going in. Then they can't lose that SEC championship game,
right? Which they didn't. So I get what you're saying. The only reason I don't think that was, I don't think that game being as tight as it was a. It was more indicative of who Auburn is.
Well, I'm just commenting on him saying it's the game has been less of a rivalry or down a little bit because of Auburn. Auburn played their butt off in that game.
They did. I actually agree a little bit, but the only reason I agree is because having watched that game, I never felt like we were going to win it as close as we were, because we were having trouble doing the things that we had been having trouble doing over the last month of the season. I was like, we're not. Some magic's gonna have to happen for us, and refs are out here, so that's not gonna happen. So, but I do think a lower quality of football from the opponent hurts the spiciness of the rivalry. If you go into that game not really thinking one team is gonna win or has a chance to win, then I mean, it kind of cools it off a little bit. People start penciling Bama in as, they're gonna win this game. I don't think we've ever gone in there as an underdog, and not 2013 underdog. That was just. We shouldn't have been that big of an underdog in 2013 because we were a really, really good team. But when did we go in with less than 7 wins and go, Auburn's got a shot? No, we don't. Less than 7 wins against a talented, quality Alabama Nick Saban team. No, it's not. Really less than 8. I would say less than 9, but, Gus pulled one out in 2019. So got to give him that credit there. The game needs to feel like, no, you can lose it. And I haven't felt like that about the rivalry, the Iron Bowl, and probably since 2019, when I feel like, no, we can beat them. I know the record doesn't say that, but we can beat them. So hopefully Freeze gets us on track here. Man, we got some talent in here. Let's turn it around. Even if we don't win the next Iron Bowl, I want Alabama fans going into that mug scared to death. That's what I want.
Yeah. I definitely agree that we need to be in a better position going into that game. So, because I want to be able to talk trash a little bit. Like, the trash talk don't feel the same when you like, man, I know, I get it,
right.
I get it,
right? You know what I'm saying?
Gonna win. Y'all gonna win. All right, man, shut up, bro. Like,
I ain't
chill
even
out.
argue with y'all, man. I get it.
But then like you get into the game and you start getting hope. I think I was more mad at the hope that I had 2 years ago in that game, where I was like, oh, we could actually beat them, bro. We could. Here you go. As soon as they got the ball back that last time, I was like, man, they really finna win this game, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I get it. Y'all gonna win. And then I stopped hoping immediately. Whatever. James Sawyer says Shivers blasting McKinney in 2019 will forever be a vibe.
That was a moment.
No, listen, man. If I was in the NFTs, that be the one right there that you want to have crystallized somewhere. Because yeah, it was so unexpected, man. It was so like you knew Shivers was turning the corner. Like it happened so fast. I thought it was the ball popping into the air. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was a fumble. Like, I was like, oh, big collision. Something flew into the air, and it was this
Yeah,
man's helmet. I was like, oh,
that was a wild moment right there. I also very quietly, I will admit now to y'all that I cried a little bit when we won because I thought, oh, like, man, Gus gonna stay, and he's gonna stay. He's gonna get away with this. I remember tweeting that out. I was like, no, he's not gonna go anywhere, is he? Because he won this game. Now, fortunately, he didn't win like 3 more seasons off of that game. He got 1 more, and then that was it. But I was quietly hurt that Gus had done what he usually does, which is save his bank and extend his contract a little bit with a Bama win. Well, I still like to win, though.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful. P-Pass jumps in and says, there is talk of moving the Egg Bowl off of Thanksgiving. Why would they do that? They don't want to compete with the Iron Bowl on Saturday, bro.
That's the problem. There are other games that are more important, and rarely will both Mississippi State, really either one of them, Mississippi State or Ole Miss, actually be in the runnings for the division, to where that game is so relevant where it's got to be in prime time. I mean, it's cool to have games on Thanksgiving to watch. I know there's some NFL games too, but I hope they don't move that. Unless, listen, Ole Miss is going to be 11-1 or 10-2, or Mississippi State's going to be that, then okay, yeah, let's move it. But if not, then no, y'all stay where y'all at. Y'all good.
Yeah, I don't personally care as far as like competing for airtime, because I just don't like. There's no universe in which I'm gonna be like, man, but the Egg Bowl's on.
Right. It's like, what's this NFL game doing? That's good outside. All right, I turn to the Egg Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah. Lawrence Robinson says, shoot, after last season, that Duke UNC rivalry got taken to another level. When in our lifetime will we see a rivalry game in the Final Four?
That's right. And so that did happen. And I remember that. I think it was especially unique because Roy wasn't there. It was Hubert. It was Hubert's UNC, which was, I think that's something that has to happen in order for it to be a true rivalry. And which is why I give UNC Duke credit for being equivalent to what the Iron Bowl is in football, which is it has to span different coaches. It can't just be one coach who had this other team's number. No, that coach left. Now this new coach. It's the school's identity. It's not just the coach's thing. It's the school's thing. And that's something that has survived multiple coaches here, which is why it's so great.
Yeah. I mean, same thing for that rivalry. And like it, I'll jump down to this one to kind of amplify this point. Ant Robinson says, I think the fans is what makes the rivalry so great. And it absolutely, those fan bases staying engaged in their hatred for one another. And the thing I absolutely love. So this is what I mean about this rivalry being so great. The crane kick thing was a football thing, right? Like that was a thing that happened in the Iron Bowl, right? Like this man had been doing this celebration all season. We out here prematurely, but celebrating during the crane kick during the Iron Bowl. A Bama player then subsequently comes and trolls our team at bowl practice doing the crane kick. Then the next time we saw each other, it was gymnastics. Our gymnastics team out here doing the crane kick. Basketball team doing the crane. It became a thing. And now even this season, Brandon Miller out here doing the crane kick at the end of the Bama game this year. You have adopted hatred. Brandon Miller just got to Tuscaloosa, bro.
Right.
Jabari Smith is from Atlanta. He came here. He was like immediately calling Bama the toilet the minute he stepped, because he understood we don't like them. He adopted, he embraced the culture that the fans have created of, we do not like that school right there. So every time we play them, it means something. I don't care if we out skipping rocks on the lake. If it's a Bama person skipping rocks, my rock better skip more times. Screw them.
Yeah.
That rivalry means something, man. It's different, bro. Like it hits different across multiple sports. And it's because the fans don't like each other. We just don't.
Yeah, it survives the coaches, it survives bad years, and then it reawakens, and it's like it never left. It has to remain. The hate between the fans remains, even if it's muted at times. It remains.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's gonna look like when Nick Saban ain't there, though. when Bama hits lean gears again, it would be the first time since the mid 2000s that it happened.
This is so here. Speaking of fans, this is my only problem with Bama fans is that their love for Alabama is very contingent on the success of their teams. Like we support bad Auburn football teams and still will show up and root like hell for them in a football game.
Right.
Bama fans don't do that, bro.
No,
they don't. They will,
especially after this. Like that's what makes this so interesting, right? Like, so they always thought they were football royalty. I wasn't old enough to be around after Bear Bryant to see the lull that they went through. I wonder what attendance was like, what the fervor about the program was like. But now we get to see a legendary run, and eventually it will run its course. There is no Nick Saban out there. Like, regardless of what people think, there's a Kirby Smart out there, but he's different than Nick Saban. All right, but he's got a home. He's got a program that's just as powerful. He has no reason to come over here. I don't think there's a comparable to Nick Saban because so much of his success has to do with what was going on in football at the time. Very unique circumstance. He came in and did some things nobody else had done. Everything's evened out. People have caught up. Talent has dispersed. So what's it going to be like for Alabama football fans when you're as competitive as Clemson, but there is no more Alabama dynasty? There's no platinum status for your football program. You are not one of one. You are one of now 10 who has some bona fides as far as a tradition and a program, but you are not the top of the mountain anymore. What those fans do in that moment after Saban's time has passed, that's going to be very, and not even necessarily from a rival. Like, I just like the psyche of the fan. What happens to you when you're so used to winning and you identify with this team that was winning? But now they're not winning.
All they're gonna do is flaunt the success from the past. They're gonna be
that's all we're gonna hear.
Well, we still got 8 championships that we made up. What y'all gonna do about that?
I know, right? That's what this is gonna be.
That's all you're gonna hear from them, because this frustrates me to no end. All these new Bama basketball fans, bruh, like,
oh yeah,
y'all get on my nerves so bad, because y'all swear you don't like basketball. You don't like basketball. You don't like basketball. Stop it, because you told me I'm gonna start pulling up receipts. You told me basketball didn't matter when you were losing basketball. That's what you told me. And now all of a sudden you check your facts because Bama's been to such and such NCAA tournaments and we've got this many SEC, but you don't care for real. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
You don't actually care about this. You're just doing this because you want to be able to brag. But when your team's not good and we talk about beating that team, all of a sudden, well, that don't matter. Football is what really matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. They just hop in and out.
This is why I'm not looking forward to Nick Saban leaving. I want to mop them while he's still here. Hugh Freeze, my guy. My guy. We need to mop him while Nick is still there so I can talk my junk then. Then I can cry and watch y'all fall into misery afterwards as well. I need to get satisfaction on both sides of this.
That's why I wanted Kirby to mop him in the playoff.
I don't want Kirby. I don't want Kirby. I want Auburn. Screw Kirby.
I wanted them to lose. Kirby. I wanted them to lose. I did. I just wanted them to lose real big. But I want to beat them too. I
don't care who else beat them. They can go undefeated for every other game in the season. I want them to lose to Auburn, and I want them to feel bad. I want you to cry. I want you to be all on your timelines talk about, well, you know, the one time that we shut up, you lost. I don't care.
Yeah,
that's what I want. Me.
I understand. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Chris Sanders says UNC beating Duke on their home floor during Coach K's last game was epic.
That was some hate. That was some big hater type stuff right there.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Can y'all imagine, Kirby, that Nick Saban announces his retirement, and in the last Iron Bowl we beat them? Can y'all imagine that? I just want to just breathe that in for a second. Do you know how sweet that would taste? Nick Saban's like, this is my final year. And they go to the Iron Bowl and they lose.
Hey, that's some hater ass shit right there. I like that. I like that. That is some hate.
Inject that like directly into my vein, bruh. Directly into my vein.
Especially if it's at home in their house, Tuscaloosa, I'm going to ruin the last game that Nick Saban coached here, and it's going to be an Auburn win. Ooh,
if that happens,
mm.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what I would do.
That, you know what, I would hold on to that like they hold on to some championship from 1954 that they didn't actually get. Like that would be every time somebody brought up old championships, I just post like, well, we won the back-to-back. It would just be an image of
the scoreboard,
Auburn celebrating on the field at Bryant-Denny. Like that's what it would be. That's all you would see. That is the only thing they would see. I would never let them hear the end of it,
bruh. Don't for the sake of every Bama fan in life that ever existed, please don't let that happen. Don't. No, please do let it happen. No, I don't want to know. Let that happen for me. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer.
Hey, Freeze got to get us right, man.
Yeah,
he got to make the dream a reality.
Coach, I need you, my guy. I need you. Because I need this cache of talking crap to be able to just unload. I just need a clip. Just give me the clip. Load the clip, bro. I'll pull the trigger. You ain't got to say nothing. You don't have to go laying on them. Stay off of social media. Just put. So here's what I want you to do, Coach Freeze. Here's what I want you to do. When we win the Iron Bowl, when we win the Iron Bowl, just put the freeze emoji and at the War Report. And we'll take it from there. That's it. You don't have to do nothing else. Freeze emoji at the War Report, and we got you. Just load the clip for me. I will point and spray that thing. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm already ready. All right. Anyway, my bad. Chris Sanders. One thing no other rivalry can claim is having a tree assassin. That alone vaults it to the top. You got to be on some next level hatred to be like, you know what? F them trees. Like my boy was mad. He went and got some poison, drove all the way because he don't live nowhere close to Auburn. He drove all the way down there and was like, I hate the trees that y'all throw toilet paper in. They gotta die. That's a whole other level of hatred for a school, bro. Like it's, putting a jersey on a statue or a hat on a statue or something like that. Like that's cute rivalry stuff, right? Like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, you desecrating a statue. Okay, whatever. My boy poisoned trees.
Yeah.
He poisoned trees. Whew. That's different. Haley says this 12-team playoff is the most probable situation for an Iron Bowl 2.0 in the playoff. If this ever happens, it will add a whole new layer to the rivalry.
If we somehow manage to make an Iron Bowl 2.0, like one team obviously would have to win to get through and get to the postseason, or you know what, it's about to take on another form. Before we even get to that, Haley, if they go top two teams in the conference after conference play in the SEC title game, an Iron Bowl SEC game, we could play them the last week in November, the first week in December, and if both teams are good enough, we could play them a third time in the same year. That would be insane. That rivalry then just takes a whole new form. Like that's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
I would. Oh my goodness, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I don't listen, man. Listen, I don't know if the state of Alabama could take that level of intensity happening on a football field. Like the stakes of the Iron Bowl have always been high. If it's in a playoff game for football, dog, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. When that game means something like that, ooh, that's a different level of somebody might be in trouble. Right, like because here's number one, Bama fans, they don't know. Again, we already got to do poison and trees for no reason, right? Like I just don't. Bama fans don't know how to control. They don't know how to control themselves when they lose.
Right.
They don't have like the emotional ability to like deal with that. Like, they have no problem sticking in other people's faces. We beat you. The minute you can say it back to them, they don't know how to take it. They don't. Yeah. They really don't. They do not take that well at all. I would be fearful in them situations. I might just stay at the house that whole night.
Yeah. They don't know how to act.
Yeah, that's one of them games you can't go watch at a bar or nothing because you just don't know who's gonna be there. You just going to throw the party at your house with other Auburn fans and be safe getting home.
Yeah.
Matt Barber jumps in. I work in a place owned by Bama fans. I would probably have to look for a new job. I would be insufferable at work that day. I would just, I might go to work that day painted in orange and blue if Nick Saban lost his final game. I don't work nowhere. I'm just saying if I did work somewhere, I would probably go paint my entire body in orange and blue and only wear like Auburn boxers to work that day. Like, they would put me out the minute I got to the door and be like, number one, sir, you can't come to work dressed like this. Number two, you can't be in all of this Auburn stuff in our space. And I wouldn't care. I would come with my 2-week notice on orange paper with blue handwriting and with blue typing on it and just put it down on somebody's desk.
Yeah.
That's how that would work for me. If I were in your situation, Barber, I would go just like that. Just like that. Matter of fact, my 2-week notice would just be a big paper it was a big blue piece of paper with a big orange L on it, and I slap it down on my boss's desk and then walk out.
Yeah, it's over after that. that is 2-week notice. That might be a 1 hour notice.
I was about to say that's a 2-minute notice, my guy. We'll holler at you. Have a good day, sir.
Oh man.
But that's me. That's my level of petty. I don't see, everybody's not built like me. Everybody's not built like me. I have a very next level of petty. Like, it's the kind of petty that probably won't get you shot, right? Like, you're not gonna do nothing overboard, but it's enough petty that people will dislike you for the rest of your life because they just like, he takes it too far sometimes for me. That's me.
See, I wouldn't be that overt about it. I would just, the next day, I go to work and be like, hey man, y'all, that's a good game, though. That's a good game. But see, 2 months later, when I'm making a presentation, there will be a slide. It would just be like a gif of the celebration or the last play that sealed it, or the team celebrating on the field. Oh, how did that get in there? My bad. Oh, my bad. And then at the very last slide, be any questions, and it would be the score, the final score. Any questions about? See, I was sneaking in everywhere. Emails. My signature would be the final score of the game. Oh man, I would constantly sneak it in there. I always find a way. They just need to be reminded. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to spike the football about it. No, I just want to remind you. Keep it on your mind.
I'm spiking that joint all up and down the hallway. Like, they would come to work and it would just be pictures everywhere. Yeah, that's me. That's me right there. Anyway, man, we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys jumping in here. As always, man, you guys head over to our sponsor, the Rogue Shop, rogueshop.com. Use code REPORT for 10% off your purchase. Make sure you head over to America's #1 online dispensary to get you something to get you right, whatever ails you, man. We got stress relief. We got, they got the gummies. Of course, we like the gummies. They got the candles. They got the bath salts. They got a lot of things that can get you in a good place in your life, physically healthy. Things that you can get for yourself over there at rogueshop.com using code REPORT. We're about to get out of here. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend to tell a friend. Again, more announcements coming throughout the day. Auburn versus Missouri basketball tonight on the Plains. Make sure you guys lock in with that. I got the pregame coming up this afternoon. We will holler at you guys. Today's Tuesday. So again, tomorrow morning on the drop, man. Again, make sure that you guys are liking the video, subscribe to the channel. We're out of here. War Eagle. Until the next time, peace.
Peace.